my humble obeisances. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Gauranga ki jai. Thank you so much for joining and giving a beautiful association this morning. All glories to your services, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavad Pranam, glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Neetu from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna, Neetu Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Gauranga ki jai. Thank you so much for joining and giving a beautiful association this morning. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Sivani Mataji, Dandavad Pranam to you and all Vaishnava, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Buddhadev ki jai, Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Vinda Gopika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Gauranga ki jai. Thank you so much for joining, Mataji, and giving a beautiful association this morning. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shivani Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Srila Prabhupada. This is Preeti Vilasini Devidasi from Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you, Mataji, for your warm welcoming. And thank you, Uma Mataji, for the very beautiful recitation of the Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Vilasini Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Gauranga ki jai. Thank you so much for joining, Mataji, and giving a beautiful association this morning. All glories to your services. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
We are unable to start record. So while I get the files deleted, maybe you can read Srila Prabhupada's quote.
Sure, Mataji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I welcome you all to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. I would like to share the quote by Srila Prabhupada ji. Two lords, Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they have appeared just to reclaim the fallen souls of this age. They are more kind than Krishna. Krishna, he is also very kind. He comes to deliver, but Krishna demands that first of all surrender. He is so kind. So take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and be happy. Thank you very much. Atlanta, February 28, 1975. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Haridas Varya Prabhuji. Prabhuji will be enlightening us on the topic of the sacred vow, Margashrisha, session 12. Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. Haridas Varya Prabhuji, thank you for giving us your valuable time and association this morning. Waiting eagerly to hear from you, Prabhuji. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Gauranga ki jai. Please take over the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shivani Mataji, Dandavad Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. At the outset, I would like to welcome all the devotees to this program. Priti Vilasi Mataji, if you can chant 2 times Hare Krishna, I'll just, I think there's some problem with the mic. Let me just rearrange it.
Sure, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna.
Is it audible, Mataji, now? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu, it's audible.
Thank you, Mataji. Apologies. So at the outset, I would like to welcome all the devotees to this Bhakti Sangha Japa group. We are constantly seeing week after week the various verses of Tirupavai. Of course, we are seeing the Vrata of Margashrisha, the vow of Margashrisha, the vow that was undertaken by the gopis of Vrindavan, as it's also known very famously as Katyayani Vrata. So we are seeing the parallel from the Dravida Desh, that is the southern part of India. The poem the verses written by Andal of the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya as Tirupavai and finding similarities between those verses and Srimad Bhagavatam and the Gaudiya literature. So today we are at verse number 10. So we will be talking specifically about verse 10 and the gopi who is going to be awakened today. But before we start, we will pray Mangalacharan. We'll pray to the Vaishnavis, to bless us, to shower their blessings so that we can understand these deep meanings which are hidden in the slokas. Om Jnanatimandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sadhana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dhinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namaum Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminite Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yatkripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. Once again, I welcome each and every devotee to this session of Margashrisha, the sacred vow of Margashrisha. So the story so far is, we all know and we have been repeating, that how the gopis of Vrindavan got the permission and they narrated the 5 verses showcasing their intent and the purpose of performing this vrata, the do's and don'ts, explaining the result and their desired result, which is to attain Krishna as their husband. And they all requested the gopis of Srivalliputur, which has now become Vrindavan. Andal has become the gopi. All her friends and companions are the gopis of Vrindavan. And they all took a resolution that they will take the ritual or the vow of Margashrisha, that in the early morning, they'll go for a cold bath in Yamuna with a desire in the heart to attain Krishna as their husband. The next day, they all came together at the dedicated spot where they had decided, but they found out that 10 of the gopis were missing. So Andal, along with her gopis, she's going to each and every gopi's house and she's waking them up. So she has already woken up 4 gopis and she has joined in her group 4,99,994 gopis. 6 gopis are still left for making it 5 lakhs. So today she's standing outside the door of gopi number 5. And those who are following our series, they would very wonderfully know that each of these gopi has a special characteristic. While the gopi number 1 was a new recruit or a newcomer in the congregation, the second gopi was a deeply ecstatic devotee, the maddened girl who was in ecstasy. And the third one was very favorite to Krishna. Krishna used to like her company. The fourth, the one which we saw last week, was the daughter of the aunt of Andal. And today we are standing at the footsteps or the porch of the 5th gopi, who is known amongst the gopis as the deeply immersed one. What immersion are we talking about? The immersion in deeply ecstatic symptoms. Why it is so? What's her speciality, all that we're going to speak today. So the devotees know we cover this in 6 different dimensions. First is the context setting. We have the overall context of what is the pastime, and we have the context of how this pastime is in line, or it is taking the inspiration from the Katyayani Vrata of the gopis in the Dwapara Yuga. The context here is of Kali Yuga. However, the Yuga has transformed itself into Dwapara Yuga because everything has changed and everything has moved to Vrindavan. So with that, Andal standing with 4,99,994 gopis. She has already got 4 gopis who are woken up, very ecstatic, very enthusiastic to join the group and follow the rituals as they had planned the day before. Now she is still awaiting these 6 gopis to wake up, and she's knocking on the door of gopi number 5, who is known as the deeply immersed one. Let us quickly see what are her qualities. She is called as a Shiro Bhushana. Shiro Bhushana means, Shiro means the head, and Bhushana means Alankara, or the ornament. In other words, she is the crown gem amongst the gopis. She is the leader amongst the gopis. But wait a minute. We all mentioned about how Andal is the leader of the gopis. But why is that she is called as one of the leaders? We will get to know about it as we read the verse. But for now, let us understand that this gopi is very, very special. She is the crown gem amongst the gopis, and she is the leader amongst the gopis. What is so special about her? And all the girls, the young Nanda Vraja Kumarika, they are very, very happy to be standing outskirts of the house of this gopi. Why is that? Because her house is very, very near. In fact, she is the neighbor of Nanda Bhavan. The Acharyas mention that this is a 2-storied house. It has a ground floor and it has a first floor. And the girl is sleeping in her bedroom in the first floor. Prabhuji, how do you know all these details? It's given by the Acharyas. And it's in the verse. Even in the verse, we get to know where the house is, what's the location of her house. What's so special about the bedroom? Because Nanda Bhavan is also mentioned that it has many floors. And it appears in this way that both the bedrooms, that's the bedroom of Krishna and the bedroom of this girl, is just separated by a common wall. So she is a neighbor to Nanda Bhavan in Vrindavan, and there is a single wall which separates both their houses. In fact, she is leader amongst the gopis because while Krishna is a menace to the gopis, and Krishna always puts the gopis in trouble, she is so expert that she puts Krishna in trouble. And she is so expert that when Krishna deals with her, Krishna goes like, this is difficult for me. What does she do? A simple example is given by the Acharyas. For example, one day, Krishna and this gopi, Shiro Bhushana, let's call her that way, she and Krishna went near a lake. And near that lake, there were a lot of lotus flowers. And there were lilies, water lilies. And looking at those flowers, and women are fond of flowers, she turned towards Krishna and asked, can you get me some lotuses? You are the blue lotus of Vrindavan. But when I look at these other lotuses, I remember your eyes. So can you pluck some lotuses from this lake? Krishna was such a nice gentleman. He said, yes, of course, why not? For you, I will pluck all these lotuses. So he got into the lake. He lifted his Pitambar dhoti, tied it up above his knees so that his dhoti doesn't get wet. And he was wading through the water to pluck each and every lotus. As soon as he grabbed one lotus, he would look at this girl and he would ask this question, is this the lotus you want? And immediately she would say, no, Krishna, no Shyam Sundar, not that one, the one which is further ahead, which is deep in the waters. So Krishna would wade much further into the water, getting his Pitambar dhoti wet, but he would wade and he would get that lotus for this girl. But as soon as he caught hold of the lotus, which is further deeper into the water or in the lake, he would ask, do you want both these flowers? She would say, you know what, I changed my mind. I actually want a water lily and not a lotus. And Krishna would drop all the lotuses in the lake and he would swim towards the water lilies and he will catch all of them together. And he will pluck each of those water lilies, make it a bunch. And while he's going to just come out of the lake, she will say, Krishna, I think I need roses and not water lilies. All this water during the month of Margashrisha is making me more colder. And this cold wind and this water, when I touch together, I don't want to. Maybe you should drop the plan. Here is Krishna shivering. He has waded in the water for the last 40 minutes, capturing all these, collecting all these flowers. And here she is. She just wants to see Krishna put effort for her. So she is really sometimes a menace for even Krishna, our Shyam Sundar. But Krishna likes her very much because she is the neighbor. And you need to keep your neighbors happy. Otherwise, if the neighbors complain to Yashoda Maiya and Nanda Maharaj, then Krishna will be in real trouble. So Krishna always intends to keep this girl happy. And Krishna always seeks her company. So in this way, she is very, very special. And all the gopis know about this, that the girl who is sleeping in this house, she is very special to Krishna. And in fact, she can even dictate terms with Krishna, and Krishna has to obey. So she has a lot of leadership qualities. So with that intention that Krishna would be happy to see his neighbor when they do the vrata, they are at her doorstep and they want to wake her up. So that's the context that today they're going to wake up the neighbor of Krishna, the gopi, who is deeply immersed in sleep. But in actuality, she's deeply immersed thinking about Krishna. So without further ado, let's look at the verse for today. Notruchugarkum Pugindrindra Ammanai Matrapmum Tararo Vasal Tiruvadar Nattulai Mudi Narayanan Nammal Por Parai Tarum Punyanal Pandurunal Kutrathin Vavilanda Gumbagarnanum Totrum Munakke Perinduilan Dandano Ara Andalu Dayai Arungalame Teramai Vand Tiravelo Rambavai. So very wonderful verse where Andal is speaking about the gopi and requesting her to wake up. And she's addressing her as a leader. And let us look at the meaning of each and every single word, which is our dimension number 2. What does she really mean? So let's look at this verse. This is verse number 10. I always make a mistake. Notruchuvarkum Pugindrindra Ammanai. She says, oh, fortunate girl. Now, wait a second. Why is Andal calling her fortunate? I just told you she's fortunate because she's the neighbor of Krishna. She's fortunate because Krishna himself gives attendance to her. She's fortunate because she still talks to all the gopis and hence they have a very, very favorable devotee to Krishna amongst them. So she is addressing her as the fortunate one because she's a neighbor of Krishna and Krishna likes her. She says, Notruchuvarkum Pugindrindra Ammanai. Oh, fortunate girl, you have completed the rite before our arrival and as a result experienced happiness. So here it's called sarcasm. And sarcasm is very unique, Sarcasm only, it's like um, the electricity in Indian households. Only half of the households get it, right? Sarcasm is like that. Only some people who really put their ears through, they will get what is being spoken. So Andal is saying that I have come here to wake you up and make you a participant in the vrata. But lo and behold, what do I see here? I do see that you have already completed the vrata. Why is she saying that he has already completed the vrata? She's saying that he has already completed the vrata because it seems like you are already immersed in happiness. What is the completion of vrata and how does it give happiness? Their entire goal was to get Krishna as the husband. So, in fact, in a sarcastic way, she's saying that maybe you are sleeping inside because you already achieved Krishna. He's your neighbor. It seems like you have already achieved. Notrit Swargam. Swarga means heaven. It seems like you have already achieved heaven or happiness. Heaven is similar to happiness, and here heaven is also being spoken. It seems like you have attained heaven, which is supreme happiness. That means you have attained Krishna. And guess what? We all have to go through this vow of Margashrisha, and you didn't even do anything. You were sleeping in your bed, and you have achieved the result. What a great personality you are. Hence, we will call you as Ammanai, a leader. You are a great leader because while we have Andal as a leader, you are the leader of those women who never do a vow and still achieve their goal. So she says, you are very fortunate. You don't have to do any vrata. You don't have to take bath in the cold waters and you already got Krishna. Matratmam tararo vasal tiruvadar. And we are knocking on your door. We are calling from the ground floor. You are on the first floor. And you are not speaking to us. What will happen if you do not open the door? At least speak to us. Even beggars who come outside the door, you shoo them away by speaking something to them, saying there's nothing in the house. You come every day. Why don't you go away? Even those people who are not so grateful, even to the beggars, they also speak some words. But here you are not even speaking a single word and you are sleeping. But we are getting a fragrance. You know what? There is a special fragrance that we are getting. Natrat Tulai Muri Narayanan. And we are getting the fragrance of Tulasi, the garlands of Tulasi. This indicates that Narayan or Krishna, who wears Tulsi on his neck, he has visited you or he is there inside with you, right? And hence he has been very benevolent to you. He's been very merciful to you. And let me tell you, if you wake up and come with us, he will be very merciful to us as well. And he will give us parai, our desired objective, which is the objective of attaining Krishna as a husband, or give the drum for Sankirtan. And by merely singing this, he will give us this benediction. And the girl inside, she never speaks a word. And she's still sleeping. She's not waking up. And now there is further sarcasm. Andal says, do you know one day, Lord Ramchandra, he used his Rambhan and he sent Kumbhakarna to the jaws of death. In fact, she says it was not Ram who sent Kumbhakarna to the jaws of death. Ram was shooting arrows and Kumbhakarna came himself before the arrow and he gave up his life. It is not Ram's fault. It is the fault of Kumbhakarna. He gave up his life because he voluntarily came and attacked Ram and he lost his life. But when he lost his life and when he was defeated, this demon called Kumbhakarna, whose ears are like Kumbha, the shape of the pots, such big ears he has got. This demon, when he was defeated, It seems like before getting defeated, he entered into a contest. And what is a contest? The contest is of sleep. You and him entered into a contest of sleeping, that who can sleep more. And we all know Kumbhakarna, how he can sleep. He can sleep for 6 months or even more, or for years. Even the bears would lose in competition when it comes to sleeping with Kumbhakarna, having a contest of sleep with Kumbhakarna. But she says in sarcasm, that seems like you both entered a competition and Kumbhakarna lost in that competition. And he had to give away all his savings, which is sleep, to you. And that is the reason why you have got such a big sleeping nature, that even though we are shouting, we are knocking on your doors, requesting you to open the doors, you are not opening the door. But let me tell you, you are the crown gem. And you are in such dense drowsiness, it never seems to leave you because you have got the possessions of Kumbhakarna. But let me remind you, just like Kumbhakarna was reminded to wake up, let me also wake you up by telling you that you are Siro Bhushana, you are the crown gem. You are the one who even Krishna loves so much. So when Krishna looks at you, he really gets enamored by you. So please wake up. And she says, first words come from inside the house. Are you calling me the crown gem of the gopis? And Andal says, yes, we are addressing you. Why don't you come out? She says, if you are saying so, I will come right away. Andal says, wait. Don't hurry it up. You are the neighbor of Krishna. And we know very well that if Krishna is there, then Krishna would be playing a menace with you. Krishna will be playing his pastimes with you. So shake off your sleepiness and come and open the door. And don't be so sleepy because you're on the first floor. Please walk down the stairs very gently, adjust yourself, and you open your mouth and speak and gently remove the veil and disclose your beautiful face to us. So in this way, this whole verse number 10, is a very beautiful allegory of how, and a play of sarcasm with the girl who is deeply immersed in Krishna consciousness, who is deeply immersed by the presence of Krishna, who is deeply immersed in the pastimes of Krishna, and she is in deep sleep. So let us look at each and every single part of this verse with Acharya's commentary. And this is where we can really appreciate the verse. So let's go into the third dimension, where she says the first letters that, O girl, O leader, one who has never followed a vrata and who has achieved heaven. Now, in poetry, heaven has different meanings. For Vaishnavas, heaven is a very temporal place. When people do pious activities, they go to heaven. And after their pious activities are turned to zero or their credits are over, and they go to hellish planets if they have papa, if they have done sins. And after finishing all their sins, they come back to this earth. So heaven is a very temporal place. It's temporary. Vaishnavas are not very interested to go to heaven. So here we are talking about gopis, and here is a gopi who's saying, you have already reached heaven. So this is not meaning that somebody has literally reached heaven where Indra resides. Heaven has multiple meanings. For example, if you meet a person who is working very hard on a sunny day, and for last 4-5 hours, he is a construction worker working on the roads. When you go with a cup of water or some juice, you give it to him, he will feel as if he has achieved heaven. In other words, it has quenched his thirst, which is the most important. A girl who is not being able to marry or find a suitable groom, when she gets the news after many years that she is going to be married, she might say that I have reached heaven. This is like the sweet message of happiness. Where do you see this? we see this in the pastime of Sita and Ram. In the Valmiki Ramayana, Lord Ramchandra says, Mother Sita, you see, you be here. Sita, you be here and take care of my parents, because the forest is very tough. There will be lot of difficulties, wild animals, thorns, bushes, and harsh climate, and no proper bedding, no proper household, and it will be very difficult. You are always been brought up in royalty, and hence please stay back. And hence I would like to go. I just came to inform you. Mother Sita says to Lord Ramchandra, before you go, I would like to ask a question to you. Ramchandra says, sure. He was wondering what the question is going to be. Sita said, can you please tell me what is heaven and what is hell? Ramchandra thought this would be very easy, because I sit in all the lectures of Vasishta, and this is going to be the most easiest question. And maybe by answering this question, I can go to the forest and Sita can take care of the royalties and also my parents. So he said, heaven is an upper planetary system where Indra resides, and hell are where the Yamas and Yama's punishments are given. So he said, now can I go? Then Sita said, you never asked the question back. And Rama said, what do you mean? I gave you the answer. She said, whenever somebody asks what is heaven, you should ask for whom. This is going to be the question. Just like how I mentioned, for a construction worker, the heaven is a glass of water. For a girl or for a woman who is married, heaven is being in presence of her husband. If the husband is near and if the husband is with her, then the woman thinks that it is heaven, and vice versa. In the Grihastha life, a husband and wife are made for each other. So due to their each other's presence, the house, the Grihastha with Krishna in the center, becomes like heaven. There is happiness of heaven. So she said, if you are going away to the forest and I am here alone, this is not heaven, this is hell. So she said, where you are, that is heaven. So then Ramchandra immediately agreed, and he said, you're very learned, hence you come with me. And she also said, the forest is the heaven, because you get spiritual happiness, because all the devotees, the sages, everybody are residing there. And my astrology also mentioned, Mother Sita says that many years I will spend in the forest. So actually, if you see, not meeting devotees, staying away from devotees, missing devotees is actually hell. And being with devotees, spending time with devotees, hearing Krishna Katha, this is heaven. So she said, Lord Ramchandra, where you are, that is heaven. So in that way, Andal is using it as a sarcasm that you have achieved heaven because Krishna is with you. Just like Lord Ramchandra is always with Mother Sita, Krishna is with you. How is Krishna with you? I spoke about the pastime of the lake. And Krishna, in this way, spent many 40-50 minutes collecting all the flowers. But this girl never picked up any one of those flowers. And due to spending such a long time in the lake, in the frigid waters, in the cold waters, Krishna started sneezing and having a cold. And what he used to do is he made a big hole in that wall, because this was a common wall between his bedroom and hers. So he made a hole in that wall and he started sneaking inside her bedroom and said, you are the reason why I got this cold. And she used to feel very sad that Krishna is undergoing trouble because of her. So she used to give him hot water. She used to take care of him. She used to take care of all the necessities of Krishna. In this way, Krishna was so happy getting served by this gopi that he gave all the spiritual bliss to the gopi. Now, we should not understand this at the bodily level. We should understand that this is a very high philosophy, and at the same time, it's a very high subject matter of how Krishna and his eternal servants, they're serving Krishna. So in this way, she got a lot of spiritual bliss by Krishna's presence. And Krishna used to use this door which he made, this hole which he made in the wall, and he used to use it every now and then. He used to just enter from his house into her house. And hence, in that way, she got the real heaven, which is the presence of Krishna. Every single day and night, she was so close to Krishna. And this is what Andal is saying, that you have already achieved heaven. Of the three hidden meanings in this shloka, this is the first meaning. The first meaning is Swarga here means none other than Krishna's presence for Vaishnavas. Our eternal heaven is none other than Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's presence, Krishna's blessings. This is known as Swargam, or this is known as Swarga, or this is known as heaven. And the irony is that she did not follow any ritual. She did not follow any ritual to attain this heaven. That's because Krishna showered his costless mercy on this devotee. And hence, he is the means and the end. At the end, all the gopis are looking to achieve him. But now, through the process itself, they are achieving him. So this is also heaven. So in this way, they call her the leader. One leader is Andal, who is following all the rules and performing the vrata, while she is sleeping inside this gopi, the deeply immersed one in the first floor, who is a neighbor to Krishna. She has already achieved. So how do you know this? In this shloka, there is also a viparita lakshana. They call it in Sanskrit. Like we know that Lord Ramchandra, he once mentioned that my name is Ram, but I have been dealing with you like Ram. But let me tell you, there is a Rama within me, and very soon you will see that Ram. Now, commentators were very baffled. What is the Lord talking about? The Lord is Purna Purusha. And what is this? There is a Ram within me. In fact, we have to look at Acharya's commentaries. The Acharya's commentaries mention that Lord Ramchandra means Ramete iti Ramaha. He is very pleasing personality. Inside and outside, he is a very pleasing personality. But Lord Ramchandra is saying, you are giving so much trouble to my devotees, Ravana, that though I am inside and outside completely pleasing personality, but there is also a personality within me who annihilates the miscreants. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. So there is a Rama inside me. That means there is a quality also to punish the miscreants. So this is like a viparita lakshana being quoted. Just like we say, have you passed the exam? Oh, it seems you have written so much that you have passed the exam. When a person says like that, it's like slander. It's a sarcasm to say you didn't study anything, but still you passed the exam. But we say the opposite. Oh, you are so beautiful that you don't even have to take part in the competition. So these are sarcasms. So here sarcasms are being utilized to say you have completely followed all the rules and you have got Swarga already. In other words, she's saying you have not followed any rules and regulations. There are no vows for you, but you have already achieved the result. And hence, when she says, when he makes this sarcasm, you expect a reply to come from the other side. But the girl is completely quiet. She does not even open her mouth. So Andal says even beggars, sometimes are shooed away by saying there's nothing in the house. But why is that you choose to be muted? It's like you are dumb. You are not even saying any single word. So some of the gopis give rationale of why this gopi is not speaking up. One gopi says, you know what? In the previous verses, we chanted the holy names of the Lord. Hearing the holy names of the Lord, she might be in deep ecstasy. And hence, she is not speaking a word. Another gopi said, no. She knows that there are many senior gopis who are standing outside the door. And she doesn't want to interrupt when two senior Vaishnavas are talking. She's just following an etiquette. Andal is speaking and some other gopis are speaking. She feels that I should not interrupt in their speech. Gopi number 3 is saying, in fact, it is not that. She herself is a senior. But you know what? We called her a leader, and she's thinking she's a devotee of a devotee, a servant of the servant of the servant. She's saying, they called somebody a leader. I am not the leader, so why should I speak? They are addressing some leader, and that leader is not me. So why should I speak? And in fact, the Gopi number 4 says, all of you are wrong. Just like MCQ questions, option A, option B, option C, and option D is none of the above. Many times, none of the above is the right answer. So the Gopi number 4 says, none of the above. You know why she is not speaking up? It's because Krishna has utilized that hole in the wall and he has come inside and he is now with her and she doesn't want to let out the secret. And that is why she's quiet. And when such an accusation was made, a sweet accusation was made, the girl from within, she spoke up. She said, no, no, no. There's no Krishna in the house. And everybody started giggling. Oh, at least now she's beginning to speak. The immersed one, the deeply immersed one, she said, no, no. Krishna is not in the house. And they said, Nattattulai Mudi Narayanan, don't tell lies. Andal said, how is that? I'm getting the fragrance of Krishna's Tulsi garland. Tulsi har gala kase pitambar. For Pandharpur, it is mentioned that how Lord Pandarinath, Lord Krishna, he wears a very beautiful garland. Sundarate dhyana ubhe vitevari. So in such a Sundarate dhyana, he's actually meditating on Lord of Pandharpur, that how beautiful is his alankara. And it is Krishna only who wears this beautiful Tulsi garland. It is mentioned that devotees do not wear these Tulsi garlands on their head. In fact, it is said that a devotee should not keep the Tulsi on the head or wear it like a garland on the head. He can wear a flower garland, but generally Tulsis are not given to wear it on the head. And similarly, a devotee is not supposed to keep a flower in the ear as per Shastra. He can wear it. And similarly, the male, the Purushas, they are not supposed to keep chandan on the neck. It's for the Matajis. You can apply chandan as Gopi chandan on tilak, but not on the neck. It's for the women. So generally in this way, there are some Shastras which mention about the etiquettes. And she's saying, it's very clear to me that I'm getting this fragrance of this Tulsi from your room. And it is mixed with the fragrance of the braid or the hair of Krishna, which is very beautiful. And we know that nobody else can wear a Tulsi garden. Hence, it is none other than Narayan. That is Krishna. And he is there. And the Gopi says from within, no, no, he is not here. I told you. Actually, he came 10 days back. So she lets out the secret. Is it? So what? 10 days back? That is still very fresh. We can still feel the fragrance of the Tulsi that he is wearing on his head. And he wears a lot of Tulsi. He is very, very fond of Tulsi. And in fact, his fragrance can be seen even after 4 yugas. What to speak about 10 days? And in the Mahabharata, we actually see this pastime when Arjuna walks towards Rameshwaram and he looks at the Setu, which was drawn between Lanka and Rameshwaram. Arjuna asks these questions to Dharmaputra. How do I know that this Setu is the same Setu that Lord Ramchandra actually built? So remember this question which we are asking today in Kali Yuga was asked in Dwapara Yuga by Arjuna also. And Dharmaputra mentions that pick up a part of that Setu and start smelling it. You will get the fragrance of Tulsi. This indicates that Lord Ramchandra, who used to always wear Tulsi on his matted hair, he has walked through this land. He has walked through this bridge. So Andal is saying that what to speak about 10 days, all those things that he touches or wherever he goes, those places are still fragrant of Tulsi. And Andal says, 10 days back he came, so that hole is still fresh in the wall. He would have still made his entry through that wall. What happened to that wall? Isn't it still open? The gopi says, no, he used to make frequent visits and he used to put me in trouble and I had difficulty managing him. So I sealed the door completely. I completely sealed the door. I put a lock to the door. I'm not going to open the door. And hence he cannot come in. And Andal says, Nammal pora paraitarum punyanal. He said, no lock, no door can actually stop him. Don't you know? He is Narayan. He can come from anywhere. He can come even from a sealed door. If you lock him, he is in the lock. He is in the key. He is in the keyhole. He is there in your home. He can come from anywhere. So we get to know that the Lord always arrives. The second hidden message in this verse is this word called as Narayana. In fact, this is the third time she is using this word as Narayana. She used this word, this name of the Lord, in the 4th verse, in the 7th verse, and now in the 4th verse, she called Narayan as the Mahavishnu. In the 7th verse, she called Narayan as the personality who is there in every atom. And now she's saying his qualities are so wonderful that he wears a Tulsi garland. So there is more personal. So from his activities, as she talks about Narayan, she's talking about more personal features of the Lord. And she says he can come from anywhere. He came from a pillar to protect Prahlad. In fact, there are so many Hiranyakashipus, even in Kali Yuga. Why the Lord is not coming? Because the real reason for Lord's appearance is actually not to kill the miscreants. Though he says, Paritranaya sadhunam, vinashaya cha dushkritam, it is a side quest. Vinashaya cha dushkritam. He can just do a sankalpa from Vaikunta or Goloka and the miscreants can be annihilated. But he comes for that Shabri. He comes for that Prahlad Maharaj. He comes for Bali Maharaj. He comes for the gopis of Vrindavan. He comes for Guha. He comes for his devotees. He comes for his Vrindavan Vasis. To kill Kamsa is very easy. So, to kill the miscreants is not the real reason why he comes, to give pleasure to the devotees. So you are there inside. So don't think that you have sealed the door to give pleasure to the devotees. He can come. And to punish the miscreants, he doesn't need to come. He can just do sankalpa. So in this way, she says that don't think that you have sealed the door and Narayan cannot come. He can come. He does not require any door, any opening, any lock. He will just appear. And you are so special for him. And she says, hence we are getting this fragrance. So don't tell us that he is not utilizing the secret passage that he has made in that wall. So please open the door and come. Now the girl is further quiet. She is not speaking anything. And hence further sarcasm is used. He says, it seems like there was a contest between you and the great Kumbhakarna. And this Kumbhakarna used to sleep. He was a brother of Ravan. And once he goes to sleep, nobody can wake him up. They used to beat drums. They used to poke him with spears. They used to take big elephants and make it trumpet near his ears. But none of this will make him wake up. And he used to be fast asleep. And so hence he is known for the person who has got deepest of the sleeps. And Andal says, seems like there was a competition between both of you. And you have to keep some bets. If you lose, you have to give away these riches. as the loss or the gain for the winner. So what did you bring? She said, I brought all my wealth. And when Kumbhakarna was asked, what wealth are you ready to put in this contest? Now, this is poetry, so this is imagination. There's not a competition or a contest like this really did not happen, but this is like a fictitious contest which Andal is using it as a sarcasm. Seems like you bought your riches, and the riches of Kumbhakarna is nothing but sleep. And between both of you, when the contest began, it seems like it ended up in your favor, and you won over Kumbhakarna, and he lost all his riches. So that means he has also given all the riches to you. That means you are such a lazy head and a sleepy head. You are the person who has got all the riches and all the property of sleep from Kumbhakarna. And is that the reason you're not waking up? Now the girl inside, sleeping inside, feels a little bad that she's still sleeping and she's not mixing with these wonderful devotees who are going to take tapasya, is having this intent of achieving Krishna. A pure devotee also seeks association. And in this way, she said, am I supposed to come? No, I did not get any such riches. And immediately Andal says, you are the crown gem. You are like the diamond amongst us. You are the crown gem of all of us. How can you be sleeping? Without you, we will not achieve the mercy of Krishna. Why don't you open the door? Oh, crown jewel amongst the gopis, open the door. She said, I will come immediately. I'm going to open the door and come and join all you Mahabhagavatas, you great devotees. And then Andal said, have caution. Arrive just like the way Tara arrived in front of Lakshman. When Lakshmana went to Kishkinda and wanted to see Sugriva, he was in a drunken, inebriated state. And Tara was also completely lusty and she was in an inebriated state. But she wanted to stall the mission of Lakshmana till Sugriva gets woken up and he removes his hangover and he comes in front of Lakshmana to execute the service of Lord Ramchandra. So Valmiki says in Kishkinda Kanda, Sarga 33, verse number 38, he actually says this beautiful verse of how Tara came in an inebriated state in front of Lakshmana. And that verse you see here. Sapraskhalanti madavishvalakshi pralambakanchi gunahema sutra. Completely inebriated. That even the verse you can speak in or you can sing in this way. That in as if her gait is completely going up and down. She's falling sometimes. She's getting up. Her clothes are loosened. She's trying to dress herself up. Be awake. Be conscious. Whom is she going in front of? Salakshana Lakshmana Sannidhanam. A temple-like figure. A person who is so pure. Salakshmana with all beautiful attributes. As if the supreme deity himself, Sannidhanam, in front of him she has to go. Jagam Tara Namitangayashtihi. Jagam Tara. Tara went with folded hands and she started speaking in a very inebriated state. And Lakshmana could not see Tara in that state. He put his head down. He looked down only at her lotus feet. Not Tara's lotus feet. Maybe he's looking at his own lotus feet, but he was just looking down. He was not looking at Tara. So why is this mentioned out here? Andal is saying that maybe you are also enjoying with Krishna. So don't just come out just like that. Take your time. Arrange yourself. Be very careful when you come out. And also you are on the first floor. And hence he says, Teramai Vande Teravelo Rambavai. Prabhuji, where is it said that it's first floor? These two words, Teramai Vande. That please come slowly. Get down very slowly. So when she's saying getting down, Acharyas mentioned that this was at the first floor. Her bedroom was at the first floor. So these two words indicate what was the construction or what was the house like, and where was the bedroom, and where she was sleeping, and where these girls are mentioning all of this. And hence she came outside and she said, I will also join amongst the 4,93,994 gopis, and I will be the 995th gopi. And in this way, she also joins the troop. Quickly, we have 7 minutes and we will see the beautiful Srimad Bhagavatam connections. For this, because it's Lord Ramchandra's pastime and Kumbhakarna is being directly mentioned here. So we'll go to 9th canto, which is known for the pastimes of the Supreme Lord Ramchandra, and chapter number 10, verse number 18. Rakshapati stad avalokya nikhumba khumba dhumrakshaka dhurmuka surantaka narantakadin putram prahastam atikaya vikhampadanadin sarvan gunan samohinata ata kumbhakarnam. Srila Prabhupada translates it as, when Ravana, the master of the Rakshasas, saw the disturbances created by the monkey soldiers, he called for Nikhumba, Khumba, Dhumrakshaka, Dhurmuka, Surantaka, Narantaka, and other Rakshasas, and also his son Indrajit. Thereafter, he called for Prahasta, Atikaya, Vikampana, and finally Kumbhakarna. Then he induced all his followers to fight against the enemies. Of course, there is a pastime that when Kumbhakarna died, the Acharyas in the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, they say that Kumbhakarna said, I should give all my sleep away. This is my final will. And Lakshmana said, nobody will take it. So Lord Ramchandra said, give 99% of those riches to this girl who is going to sleep, and Andal is going to wake her up. So all his riches came to 99% of the sleep of Kumbhakarna came to this girl. But Prabhuji, 100% of the property will be given. 99% has gone to this girl who is sleeping and Andal is waking her up. What about the rest 1%? He said, don't worry, when Haridas Varya will give this lecture, rest 1% of the audience will get those properties. They will sleep. So in Bhagavata lectures, when we get good amount of sleep, it is also seeming like it is the property which is given by Lord Ramchandra after taking away from Kumbhakarna. In this humorous way, some of the acharyas, they do mention. 9th chapter, same 9th canto, 10th chapter, 20th sloka. How he fought against the soldiers is also being mentioned in this sloka of Kumbhakarna, right? Angada and other commanders of the soldiers of Ramchandra faced the elephants, infantry, horses, and chariots of the enemy and hurled against them the big trees, mountain peaks, clubs, and arrows. Thus the soldiers of Lord Ramchandra killed Ravana's soldiers, who had lost all good fortune because Ravana had been condemned by the anger of Mother Sita. So here, just like she says that back in those days, how Lord Ramchandra defeated the army, that is why we see the same verses out here in Srimad Bhagavatam that we can see. So in this way, we are able to see this pastime as well. Quickly, we'll go to the Gaudiya inspirations. This time it's a last verse because she's the deeply immersed one. So in Chikshashtakam, Ashlishva Padaratam Pinastuma Madarshanan Marmahatam Karotuva Yatha Tatava Vidhatulam Pato Matprananatastu Saevana Paraha. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. So in a way, the girl, the neighbor, she was deeply immersed in Krishna consciousness. She only knew about Krishna because Krishna used to give this personal realizations, personal presence of Krishna. She was completely in Krishna Anubhava. And in this way, she always wanted to seek association of Krishna. So this verse, we can see, of course, this is said in a very Vipralamba bhav, right? And this is also mentioned by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in a very different context. But here what we can get to see is that when Krishna is handling either roughly or by his embrace, this is one of the ways Krishna interacts with his devotees. And this gopi was fortunate enough to get Krishna's embraces. One hidden meaning more in the Bhagavad Gita that we see is the 255 Sita Pragnya. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Prajahati Yada Kaman Sarvan Bharta Manogatan Atmani Evatmana Tushta Sthita Prajnastadochyate. Krishna mentions about the 4 states. Number 1, overcoming all the desires. Where Krishna mentions that Partha, when a man gives up all the desires of sense gratification, this is stage number 1. And whom do we see this? Verse number 7, the maddened girl, she gave up all her desires, which arise from mental concoction. That means there is undistracted contemplation. Who was the girl? The favorite one, Krishna Priya. And thus purified. That means absolutely disinterested and finds satisfaction in the self alone. Who is this person? The girl in the previous verse, the daughter of the aunt. And finally, what do we get? Then he or she is said to be in pure transcendental consciousness. Who is that girl? The deeply immersed one. So the 4 girls represent this Sthita Prajna. And in fact, you can also see that these 4 girls represent the Karmendriyas, because one is listening, one is hearing, one is... So there are many, many dimensions that we can see in these pastimes. So in this way, the Bhagavad Gita connections of Sthita Prajna, the 4 girls that who were woken up, are also mentioning about these 4 states. We are 1 minute away, and hence we will quickly see the pictures. So those who are seeing the pictures, they can raise their hand up and they can relate to the meanings that we learned today. So first we will look at the picture on the left. Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, Prabhu. We
Yes.
can see Krishna coming through the hole,
Yes,
and Kumbhakarna is being awakened. Yeah.
very nice.
Mm.
And you can see how difficult it is to wake up Kumbhakarna, and he's still fast asleep. Okay, the second one, anybody else?
No.
What is this around him, like a snake?
Ignorance, sleep. Maybe not on
This
Krishna. Okay.
on Krishna, this one. What is that? And what are these? You can get to see on the top.
Tulsi. Yeah.
See?
Absolutely. Nattai Shuri Mudi Narayan, and his tresses and his hair is completely adorned with tulsi.
Oh.
And that's the fragrance she's talking about. So this is all about how tulsi is everywhere at his lotus feet, and he adorns his entire body with tulsi. And she's saying that this girl is completely sleeping in his embraces. And Andal is trying to wake her up.
Mm.
Next one, in the interest of time. Again, what's that he has?
We'll see. But
Tulsi
it
is
looks
in
more
blood.
like Jada Mudi.
Yeah, because she talks about Lord Ramchandra, that how he killed that's why these matted tresses are being shown. And there is also a lot of mention of Lord Ramchandra, like Swarga, like how Sita Maya says that where you are, that's my heaven. And here
And
she's still sleeping.
There's a cow. I mean, that's probably her senses are immersed.
Exactly. Exactly. The senses are immersed. She's completely immersed. And Andal is requesting. The next one here on the right.
And see Lord Ram. Lord
Exactly,
Ram.
yes.
Karna.
Yeah.
What about this one?
Looks like Ram and Kumbhakarna, Vibhishan, all of them.
Exactly. All the 3 brothers are there, right? And here he is saying that Vibhishan completely surrendered unto Lord Ramchandra. So it seems like you surrendered completely, and that's why Krishna, once you surrender, he doesn't see your qualities. He doesn't see whether you are there. You are surrendered, Krishna gives everything. So that is the reason why you didn't do any vow, but still Krishna gave his presence. So the Sri Vaishnava Acharyas, they love this Sharanagati concept. They love the concept of surrender. And hence they said, because the girl surrendered, she already got Krishna. And she's already lying in the lap, in the hands of Krishna. And here he is wearing Tulsi in a very beautiful way. Next one. Yes. I think this is the previous one. So I'll go to the next one. Yes, this one. Left. All are the same pastimes, but you can clearly see the Tulsi. So in fact, Tulsi is so priya to Krishna that no offerings are made without Tulsi. And sometimes finding Tulsi is difficult. Like I live in a country where Tulsis are difficult to find. But Krishna is so merciful. He says that even if Tulsi is dried, and even after many years you offer a dried Tulsi, Krishna still feels very pleasurable. And even if Tulsi is not there and a little powder of Tulsi, because sometimes the Tulsi leaves, after they become dry, they become powdered. If that is mixed with Chandan and it's given, Krishna gets the fragrance of Tulsi. And even if that is not there, even if you take the stem of Tulsi and you touch the Shaligram Shila, Krishna feels the touch of Tulsi. And even if that's not there, if you mention the 7 names of Tulsi, Krishna feels, oh, I've heard about Tulsi. And in this way, Krishna feels so much connected and he's very fond of Tulsi. So in this way, we see all these pictures in front of us. We will stop here. And I know today is the day when our dear Mataji, Kaumodiki Mataji, had to leave this world and she had to do services for Krishna. So, in fact, she was like a very motherly figure. Every time I used to come to Bhakti Sangha Japa group and I used to speak, she used to be wrapped with attention. And I was just thinking, when I got the news that she departed from this world to do eternal service to Krishna, I was thinking of many verses, and this verse came into my mind. So I dedicate today's class to Kaumodiki Mataji. She's been an excellent listener, a motherly figure, and it's very difficult to be away from devotees. But it's very joyous when they attain the highest goal. So Srimad Bhagavatam says this shloka, Kaumodikim Bhagavato Dayitam Smareta Digdham Arati Bhata Sunita Kardamena Malam Madhurpatha Varuta Giropagastam Chaitasya Tattvam Amalam Manim Masya Khante. In fact, Kapila's instruction, he mentions that the yogi should meditate upon his club, which is named Kaumodaki, and is very dear to him. This club smashes the demons who are always inimical soldiers and is smeared with their blood. So I was just thinking in the first part that she was named such a beautiful name, like Kaumodaki. And in her presence, she used to help smash all our anarthas. And there were no way that we could think about anyone else apart from Krishna in her presence. And one should also concentrate on the nice garland on the neck of the Lord. And what a wonderful verse. We just spoke about it as Tulsi, which is always surrounded by bumblebees with their nice buzzing sound. And one should meditate upon the pearl necklace of the Lord's neck, which is considered to represent the pure living entities who are always engaged in his service. So in fact, all 3 of this is a constant rendering of service of Kaumodiki Mataji. She has become one of those pearl necklaces on the Lord's neck. She's one of those pure living entities, listening always to the Bhakti Sangha Japa group. We are very saddened. At the same time, we are joyful that she went away peacefully, hearing the holy name. So, thanks to all the devotees of ISKCON Baltimore. Thanks to all the devotees of Bhakti Sangha Japa Group who have been constantly helping us to get her association. And we pray to their divine lordships that she can be eternally in service to Sri Sri Radha Shyam Sundar. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. If there are any questions, comments, critiques, feedbacks, realizations, we can definitely discuss. Hare Krishna. Yadatta skalitam kinchit vidhvam sat purayantu tat yadatta sashtubham kinchit tat guru revimenami. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing a very beautiful verse, reminding us of Kamodaki Mataji. And her mood was like that. She was very, very strongly equipped to smash all these diversions that we have. And she always guided each one of us in a very personal way, helping us through our sadhana in various, under so many circumstances. So definitely, yeah, thank you so much. That was a very beautiful, was very nicely quoted for her. Thank you for reminding all of us of the immense service that she has done to each one of us in this community. So thank you, Prabhu. And definitely, yeah, it's so reassuring that she's there with Krishna now. Yes, it's so reassuring. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you,
So,
Madhuri.
I was just thinking, I did have a question about in the class. When you were talking about in the case of Kumbhakarna, he just went and he just went forward and then by chance the arrow hit him. What was the connection of that to the girl who's sleeping? I didn't get that part.
Yeah, in fact, the words which are used grammatically in Tamil, when you see, it says, Pandornal Kutratin Vai Vilinda Kumbhakarnan. In fact, she says, the man who fell before the arrows. Nobody says like that. They'll say the man who got killed by Lord Ramchandra. That's how she should be saying. But she says, why Vilinda Kumbhakarnan? That he went and fell. It was his mistake, not Lord Ramchandra's mistake. He was the one who picked up the fight, not Lord Ramchandra. He was the one who was told to wake up. And in fact, it's also a fact that he said, I won't fight. He tried to reason with Ravana, but Ravana said, you go and fight. He said, okay, I am going now, but I know I will be killed. So he came himself knowing that he will be killed. So Andal is saying, we know that he will be killed. So in the same way, he knows that he will give away his riches. And it seems like in that same way, he gave away these riches to you. So this is the connection that she's saying from a very grammatical way of speaking Tirupavai in those verses.
So he gave away the riches knowingly to Ram.
Not to Ram. So there are two pastimes here. First, she is saying the fictitious context. She's saying if there is a contest, it seems like he knowingly went into the contest and lost to you because you slept more than him. And hence, knowingly, he knows that he has lost his riches, which is sleep to you. This is one.
Oh, okay.
Second, she says, knowing that Lord Ramchandra is the killer, he said, now I would like to give away my riches. Yeah. So, which he says, okay, your will is now given 99% to this gopi and 1% to all the devotees. Sometimes they sleep during katha. In that way.
Can you repeat that? Second part.
So the Kumbhakarna says that I would like to give away my sleep, which is my property. So Rama says, okay, who will take the property? All the devotees say, we don't need this property. We don't need to sleep. So the Lord Ram says, fine, I'll give it to one person who is going to sleep so much that Andal is going to come and wake her up. And she will be the one who will be sleeping. So 99% of the will and the property she gives to this lady who is sleeping now, who is Krishna's neighbor.
Right. Okay. Got it. Yes, Prabhu. It took some time for me to wrap around my mind. Yeah, thank you so much. Hare.
No problem. Hare Krishna. Yes, Praladananda Prabhu, Dandot Pranam.
Dandot Pranam, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam to all Mataji and Prabhujis. One slok which came to my mind about this is Tasyar Vindanayanasya Padar Vindam Kinjal Kamisritulsi Makarandavai. So even these Santaras, Kumaras, when they had that fragrance of Tulasi, they became Krishna Bhaktas.
Yes.
Similarly, this Mataji who has gone, she is also is having this fragrance of Tulasi even in today's class. Because, you know, the devotees, they want Mukunda Murdhana Panipatyayache. You know, they want just this association of devotees and Krishna Katha. Right? So even those who depart, they still retain their ears here to hear Krishna
Yeah.
Katha. Because that has been the habit throughout her life. So similarly, we all, you know, who are fortunate to hear this Katha, we will all have this great fortune of benediction of Tulsi Mata, and we will all, you know, get the real blessing of this Krishna Katha. Krishna Katha is actually the essence, quintessence of our existence. Like that. So I just had this thought of two slokas that came to my mind. Thank you very
Thank you
much,
so
Prabhuji.
much.
Haribol,
Thank you
Prabhu.
so much, Prabhu. The fragrance of devotees lingers long. In fact, I had never met Kamodaki Mataji. It's only through the lectures. And I used to be so happy whenever she used to have that motherly way of asking questions and asking and then speaking to all of us. We would definitely miss her presence. Kirtida Mataji, Hare Krishna. Dandavats.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for the very wonderful session as always. And
Thank-
I was also thinking that maybe that 1% of sleep is coming to me because I tend to sleep in all the Srimad Bhagavatam classes. But your class was really wonderful. And thank you for glorifying Kamadiki Mataji. Prabhuji, I don't have any question related to today's subject matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
But otherwise, I want to ask this like Andal is trying to wake every gopi, right? And it's the first day of Margashish. So the entire Brahma Murta is passed in waking all of them.
In fact, the 30 verses are each day of the
Each day.
each
So that
day.
means first day she is taking that one gopi.
Yeah. So it's like this. The way it is that 4,99,990 gopis agreed. Okay. So then the 10 gopis are the leaders. They are missing. Okay. So she is waking up on the first day when the 10 gopis are not there. She's waking each one of them up. So it's not 30 verses. So we are not going to wake up 30 verses, 30 gopis. We are going to wake up only 10 gopis. So
No,
the
no.
first, so the first,
Sorry to interrupt. My question is on the very first day she is trying to take all those 10 missing gopis.
yes,
So it means knocking 10 houses and arguing with them, convincing them, all Brahma Murta gone.
they are very expert. We will see in the 30 verses whether they will take bath or not.
Oh,
I have not seen in the 30 verses any verse saying they took bath.
yeah, that's what even I was thinking.
So Krishna is so merciful that the vow they were going to do before that, why they need a bath when Krishna is a security guard? So we will see that. That's the suspense.
Okay.
Let's see if they'll take bath. They will be able to wake up all of them. Let's see.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Krishna.
Thank you.
And
Hare
Vatra.
Krishna. That's
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. Haridas
Hare
Varya
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Thank you
Hare
for a
Krishna.
very, very beautiful class. Very grateful to you, Prabhuji, and thank you for dedicating and glorifying her grace, Komandaki Mataji. She was like a mother to all of us and always guiding us, as Pritilasini Mataji mentioned, and she'll definitely be missed. But at the same time, we know that she has entered the Golok Dham in the service of the divine couple. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very, very grateful to you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. If there are no more questions or realizations, I would like to pay my obeisances to His Grace Haridas Varya Prabhuji and all the assembled devotees. Do I have your permission to close the call, Prabhuji?
Yeah, we all can unmute and chant maybe one time Hare Krishna for Kamadaki Mataji. That will be really
Definitely.
nice.
Definitely.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram Ram, Hare
Rama
Hare.
Ram
वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो
पतितानां
वैष्णवेभ्यो
पावनेभ्यो
नमो
वैष्णवेभ्यो
नमः
नमो
समस्त
नमः।
वैष्णववृंद की जय।
जय कमल की माता
प्रभुपाद
जी की जय,
श्रील
प्रभुपाद
प्रभुपाद
की
की
जय,
जय। His Grace हरिदास वर्य प्रभु जी की जय।
जय
जय
हरे
श्री प्रभुपाद।
कृष्णा प्रभु।
Hare
कृष्ण
Hare Krishna,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Hare
thank
Krishna.
you, Hare Krishna.